Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to handle NA data or how to handle a missing data set. Okay, how to write a missing data by NA and then how to replace that not available or NA data by sometimes we replace the NA data by the mean, sometimes we replace by the mode, sometimes we just delete that whole row or column of the NA data, usually the row of the NA data. Okay, so that's what we do. So let me show you how to do those things in this. Okay, so let's read that. Handling the missing NA data. Sometimes we remove the missing row, the whole missing row, or sometimes we replace the missing data by the average of the column or by the mode. If the data is categorical, then you cannot find out the average, right? In the categorical data, you cannot find out the average. So we replace by the category that is repeated most. That is the mode. Okay, that's what you do. So let us first see replacing NA in a column by column means or modes. Okay, so first of all, let us see how the NA data look like. See, P is a row of a data set, or that has a P is a row, or we call vector, that has element 1, 2, 3, and one of them is NA, and then 4, 6. See, all of these are numbers, right? So the data set are numeric here. The data or these values are numeric. Okay, let me do P. Okay, and if you want to know what is the class of P, then it is numeric, right? Now let us see the Q. Q is a factor or categorical data, right? So it is a bit, because see, all these elements or these data sets or the values are inside the quotation mark. All right, so let me run Q, and if you do class of Q, if you do that class of Q, then you see that it is character, meaning it is a categorical data set. Okay, now on R you have a missing, right? Just 1, 2, and then there's a quotation mark, and then 3, 1, 2, like that. So let me run that R, and then if you do class of R, what do you get? If you do class of R, then it is also a character because of this. All right, now, so first of all, if any data is missing, not NA, I'm talking about the missing data. If there is a blank there, so the first thing we need to do is we need to replace that by NA. Okay, so how do I do that? This is the code that does that. Okay, this is the code. So see, is.nar is equals to R is equals to, and then the quotation mark. Okay, this replaces the blank data by NA. Let us do that. So what is that R? R is that vector or the data set. Okay, so in this data set, if there is just a blank thing, then you replace that by NA, then it will replace that by NA. That's what this code is for. Okay, so if there is a vector P or Q has blank thing, then you need to replace that R, these two R, by that P or Q. All right, so let me run this, and then let me write down R now. Okay, R now, and it must show that R vector with NA there. Did you see that? Previously it was 1, 2. Now this blank is replaced by NA. All right, so S, see, S is another vector that has M, N, and then another blank vector, and then P, a blank thing, and then P, Q. So the data type factor. Okay, and has one blank in the, so this has a number and one blank. Okay, this has a factor and one blank. So what I'm going to do here is doing the same code. Did I run S? Okay, let me run S there, and then I'm replacing that missing by missing element by NA. Okay, you see that? So this missing one is replaced by NA there. Now, so what I'm doing is I'm putting all those P, Q, R, and S in a matrix form. So data.frame, in the data frame. Okay, so how do I do that? Is just data.frame and then P, Q, R, S. By the way, one of the very important thing when you create a data frame is all of them must have the same length. What does that mean? That means how many elements the P has? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they must have the same number of elements. Okay, same number of objects there. So I am putting that in that form. Look at that. How many NA are there? So on P there is one NA, on Q, R and S there are NAs. Okay guys, so now what I'm going to do next is, look at this E. So here the above code replace missing numerical data with its mean. Look at this. Which data is numerical? The only the let me see which one. Only the P is numerical. See, this is numerical. Q, R and S, it is taking as a factor, because we see that we character, right? So what we saw that is Q, R and then S is also a character or a factor or categorical data. So if you run this code, what it does is it replaces the missing data or NA data by its mean if it is a numerical data. So it will work only for P because P is the only numerical column, okay? So it doesn't work for Q, R and S. That's why what I'm going to do here is, if you run this code, look at this, E, and then it will replace the missing this value by its mean. So what is the mean of that? That will be replaced by that. Okay, let me run that. Look at this. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, and then this is 3.2. That is the mean of this column. Okay, what is the mean? How do I find out the mean of this? How do I find out the average? 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 6 is 16. Divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 16 divided by 5 is 3.2. So this is replaced by 3.2 because it was the numerical column. But these three are the factor or the character or the categorical data set. So to do this, what we need to do is, so this Q and S, they are definitely categorical because they are not the number, but R is a number here, right? But the program is taking this as a categorical data because it had a missing data. Okay guys, now what we want to do is we want to replace these values by the mode, meaning, see, look at this. So on the Q column, A, B, A, C, A. So A is repeated most, right? Many times, most number of times. So this must be replaced by A. And here M, N, P, Q, Q. So Q is repeated most. So this must be replaced by Q. And here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So 1 and 2 are repeated most, but what I want to do is these are the numbers. So I am changing these categorical data into the numerical data and then replace by the mean. Okay, let us do that. That's what I am doing here. If the data is non-numerical, then we usually replace by its mode. We need to install dplyr package and its library. We first define mode under that. Okay, so look at this. So for the first time you are running this code, you need to uncomment that by removing the pound sign, and then you need to run this one. Okay, if you run these two codes, these two lines on 107 and 108, okay, let me see that, and then it will take a little bit of time to install that. You will have to wait a little bit. Okay, now, and then also let us run the library. Okay, we ran the library. Now this function defines the mode. This function defines the mode. So line 110 and 113, it defines the mode, meaning the maximum number of times it is repeated. See, which dot max, and then it is repeated is called the mode. Okay, now, so what it is doing is, look at this. What was the matrix E? This was the matrix E, right? What we want to do here is we want to replace the value of the numerical value by the, we want to replace by the mean for the not available data in the numerical column. Okay, and you want to replace by the mode for the not available data in the non-numerical column. Okay, so that's what this code does. So E equals to, this is the same E that I had here before. Okay, so E equals to, you did all this, you just copy and paste from here, you copy and paste this name, you can give any name there. Okay, so you need to so this, if you run this code, you see that this code is ran here. So although it has let me see, so problem with muted input Q, let me see what it does. Okay, notice that in the column of ER, the NA is replaced by mode, which is 1. Let me see what it is doing there. So let me do this, and then let me do that one. Okay, so look at this. You see this? I think the reason is because I had this one. Let me comment that, meaning it is just not running now, right? So what I'm doing is I ran this, and then I have this already, right? This ran already, and then just run the line 110 and then run that E. Look at this. What it does is on the column of P, it is replaced by 3.2. On column of Q, which one is most repeated? A is most repeated. That's why that one, so number 3, this one is repeated by A. On R, which one is most repeated? 1 and 2 are most repeated, but it is replaced by 1, which is the first most repeated one, right? And also on S, which one is most repeated is Q. So that NA is replaced by Q. All right. Look at this. Notice that in the column of R, in this column, that R column, on this column, the NA is replaced by mode, which is 1, because 1 is most repeated. This is because R is taking the column as factor category. Now, if you want to change this factor R as let us see what is that class of R is. Class of R is factor. Now you want to, if you find out the mean, then it will show warning, right? So NA, because there is a not available, because it is a categorical data, so you cannot find out the mean of the categorical data, right? So what we want to do is we want to change just the R column of E, just that R column of E as dot numeric and E $R. That means it is picking it is redefining the R column of E by, it is doing, just change that ER the factor data into numeric as dot numeric. Okay, it is changed to numeric. Now let me run that. If I run this one and if I do class of ER, now it is numeric after you run that. Now let's find out the mean. Okay, let us find out the mean. So mean is 1.8. So ER, so E and then given R. So it is, the mean is 1.8. So we will replace, by running this code, we will replace that NA value by that 1.8. Okay, let us do that. So if I run this and then run that R, look at this. This is replaced by 1.8. Did you see that? So okay, so you should be careful about, if the data are numeric, then that code will work. If the data are categorical, then the code will replace by the mode. But if the data are numeric but it is listed as a categorical, first of all you may have to change that categorical data into numeric and then run that code to find out the mean or replace by mean. Okay guys, all right, let us see another example. So air quality data is the built-in data in R. Okay, let me run that. This is the air quality data. So it has 100, so I don't know how many. Okay, there are 153 rows and columns, 153 rows and 1 2 3 4 5 6 columns. So how do I know that by using R without counting that? I just do dimension. Dimension of C is 153 rows and 6 columns. Okay, so does it have NA values? Yes, there are, because I see that one NA there, and there may be more NA there, right? See the NA, see the NA there, right? So there are many NA values. So let us first find out the summary. It will also tell you which are the NA values, right? Okay, so summary of C. Look at this. So on the ozone, that is the name of the first. So name of the, I mean, you know what? I can basically tell you what are the name of the, so if you do string of C, so it will tell you, give you the information about that data. So it is the data frame. Okay, there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 column. Ozone column is integer values, and then solar.r is also integer. Wind is numerical values. Temperature is integer, month is integer, day is so they are all given in the integer values. All right guys, so you can just type str string and then just inside the parenthesis C. If you do that, it will give you how many observations are there, and it shows NA. So you can see basically the type of the data, right? And if you run the summary, it will give you, oh by the way, so let me run that again. If you run the summary, it will give you, see, so there are 37 NAs on the first column. there are 7 not available data in the second column, and in all these there are just no, and on the remaining one there are no not available data. Now when it calculates the mean, median, mode, and first quartile and third quartile, it doesn't say mode, minimum, maximum value. Okay, so in this case it excludes that. Okay, the summary excludes the NA values to calculate those. This also summary exclude that. Okay, so when you do summary of C, it calculates all of those. All right, now let us find out the column means of C. What does it do? So these are the, see, ozone has the column means. When you do the column means, it says NA, NA. It doesn't find out the column means if there is NA. When you do the summary, it finds out the column means, and it finds out the minimum value, maximum value, Q1, Q2, Q3 by excluding those NAs. But if you do column means, it finds out the column means. But if there is any NA data, not available data, then column means will show NA. So we need to do something on that. Okay. All right. So let me find out this. What does it do? It complete dot cases, and then C is the air quality. This remove the row of NA data. Okay. Sometimes what you do is you remove this NA data, and you need to remove everything on that row, because otherwise it does not match, right? Because for example, for 150 there is NA, but there is 145 for the solar radiation, and wind speed is 13.2, 77 is the temperature, month is 9, and 27 is the day. Okay, so if you remove this one only, it doesn't make sense, right? So you remove the whole row. So what code does that is, this is the code, you see that? So C, and then inside the bracket complete dot cases, that C, comma, and then all the column, keep all the columns there. If you do that, so this is what, see? So although it shows 153, but see, some of those rows are missing. 150th row is missing there. You see that? So another row is also missing. So how many rows are missing there? Because previously we had 153 by 6. Now there is 111 by 6. You see that? So the remaining other rows had NA, at least one NA. So you remove that. Now find out the summary there. In the summary there is no NA data there, right? There is no NA data. Now you find out the minimum, maximum, and then Q1, Q2, Q3, and then mean. Similarly, if you find out the column means, it doesn't show NA, because previously it was showing like this, right? Let me show you that. Previously it was showing NA, but now it is showing the all the values there. Okay, guys? All right. So next thing is this, find the mean of column with just NA removed. So if you do NA.rm equal, instead of just writing column means of C, if you do column means of C, and NA.rm equals to true and dimension equals to 1, if you do that, then it find out basically the column wise means. That's dimension equals to 1 means. Just you write down in that form. Okay. All right. So what I'm trying to do next is look at this. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to replace the NA values. Okay. We want to replace the NA values by the mean. Okay. And then we will replace NA values by the median as well. Okay, so that's what we are trying to do here. Look at this. So 150th, it was missing because it had the NA values, but it found the column means 42.12, and it replaced those values by that means. Okay, you see another 42.12 here. It had NA, it had also NA, and so on. Okay, guys, but again this will replace by mean only for the this will replace by mean only for the numerical values. But if there are categorical values, but this problem doesn't have categorical values, but if there are categorical values, what you do is basically you replace the mean, the NA by mean for the numerical column, and then NA by the mode for the non-numerical column, or the categorical column. Okay, guys. All right. Let us see. So this is basically doing that. And you don't have to do this for this data set, because our data set has all the columns numerical. Okay, so this code I just commented did all the everything that it should be done. Okay, but just in case, if there are let me run that C one more time. if there are if there are categorical data, then running these two codes will basically does the thing that does the thing that we wanted to do there. Okay, guys. Replace the if there is categorical variable, replace the NA value by mode, and then and for the numerical variable, replace the NA value by mean. Alright guys, that's all for this video. Next I will show you how to import data from Excel. Alright, and then we will work on that kind of thing in the next video. Thank you.